Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees dated Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 at 5:30 here in the boardroom. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Karen, can you do the roll call, please?
Trustee Bottomley?
Here.
Trustee Broderick?
Present.
Trustee Garcia Guillen? Trustee Harris?
Here.
Trustee Lee? Trustee Morales? Trustee Bishop?
Here.
Trustee Bazinski?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. As we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting will be conducted in accordance with Board Policy 01.45.00, the meetings of the board, and Robert's Rules of Order. Our attorney, Brian Copeman, will serve as parliamentarian to ensure the meeting proceeds professionally. You'll notice that we have a staff member present to assist with time management. Per policy, each trustee will have up to 3 minutes to discuss an agenda item and 2 minutes for rebuttal after each trustee has been given an opportunity to speak. Only one trustee shall hold the floor at a time, and timing shall continue during the trustee's discussion, including while awaiting and receiving any answer or response from any presenter, JJC employee, representative, or vendor. In alignment with Board Policy 01.03.00, I encourage everyone to maintain civility and respect, even when expressing different opinions. This commitment to civility is essential to fostering productive and respectful discussions. Item 1.13. I'm going to ask at this time for Chief to give us the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Item 1.2, Communications. Kelly Roder Tonelli.
Good evening.
Good
Board of Trustees, President Namuo, College Community. I'm pleased to feature this evening VNA Healthcare for our Community Partner Spotlight tonight. Earlier this year, VNA launched quarterly Will County Advisory Board meetings to crowdsource ideas and get community leaders together to just talk about some changes that are going on at the federal level, budget cuts, and more specifically related to Medicaid and general health care. And those have been very productive and helpful conversations. I did walk away from that opportunity thinking there's so much more that we could be doing with VNA. And you know, they participate in our job fair and they do a couple other small things, but there's a real opportunity to scale up our partnership with them. And really that's just creating more access to pathways for healthcare, particularly for our students. And so we're initiating relationships with VNA through our Student Health and Wellness Center, through our Office of Student Success and Athletics. So I know you all know that we're very modest about being 125 years old. We're the first, right? But fun fact, VNA has been serving this area since 1918. And so I really feel that we're partners in tradition and in transformation. Other thing I wanted to point out, and I know Sunny will share more, VNA has 15 clinics across the Chicago region. We've got one here in Joliet, just off of Jefferson. And VNA serves individuals with or without insurance, which is critical. And approximately a third of all of those patient visits are for the uninsured population. So like I talked about earlier, access is key. So with that, please join me in welcoming and introducing Sunny Durama, who is the Vice President of Development for VNA Healthcare.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Kelly, for the introduction and inviting me to this meeting. It's a pleasure meeting all of you. As mentioned, I'm Sunny Durama with VNA Healthcare. We have been around since 108 years now and counting, so 1918. Really started in the Aurora area. Today, it's very challenging with healthcare. As Kelly mentioned, about a third of the patients we see are uninsured, and that percentage is growing. About 6 months ago, it was about 30%, and now it's about 36%. So we see our uninsured patient population increasing, but our mission since 1918 has been not to turn anyone away due to a lack of insurance or a payer source. In 1918, we had visiting nurses that really started most of their work in the schools, providing care to students with assistance with student physicals, school physicals, immunizations, and vaccines. And over the last 108 years, our company has expanded. We are in 4 counties, Kane, DuPage, Will, and Kendall, and have a clinic, as Kelly mentioned, on Jefferson Avenue in Joliet. It's our second largest clinic with 30 exam rooms. Our goal really is to work with our population to bring healthcare to them, or they can come to one of our clinics. We are working with JJC in some different events. We attend your wellness resource fair every year. I know tomorrow you've got a healthcare workshop with the YMCA that will be here as well with one of my associates with a table to introduce or talk about services. And our opportunity really is to make sure that people know that they have access to care, whether they have insurance or not. About 50% of our patients are on a Medicaid plan, and we are in with all the Medicaid plans. And then we have commercial plans and Medicare. So we care for everyone from birth to our hospice programs as well, which is how VNA started back in 1918. So our goal really is to bring care potentially to the Joliet campus as well as Romeoville through our house calls program. Our house calls nurse practitioners travel throughout the 4 counties that we serve, and many students, they may have to leave school early or not come to class at all. We would love to bring the opportunity and explore opportunity to bring care to JJC at one or both of your campuses. We're actually going to be taking a tour here shortly. So just we want to make sure that people know who VNA is. We have been a great community partner with many of the schools here. We actually have, if we include our 2 school-based clinics at East Aurora and West Aurora, we actually have 17 clinics where we actually have developed clinics on site at the schools so parents and students don't need to worry about leaving work early or leaving class early to tend to their primary care. Our main services are primary care, pediatrics, mental behavioral health, and OBGYN, as well as, of course, our home health and hospice, which we actually started in 1966. So thank you again for the invitation. We'd love to find ways to collaborate. Does anybody have any questions on our services at VNA?
Do any trustees have any questions?
Okay, thank you again for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Have a good evening.
wait, we do have
You
one
know,
question.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I have a question. Did you say 1918 or 80?
1918.
Oh.
So 108 years and counting. So before we started building these clinics, we actually had visiting nurses traveling to homes and are doing a majority of their work in the schools, working with with physicals and immunizations. So 108 years and counting. 24 years ago, 25 years ago, we started our first clinic in Aurora and then Elgin. And our clinic here in Joliet's been around for about 14 years.
Yeah, I did
Yes.
hear you say that. Well,
Yes.
thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate it, everybody.
Item 1.3, proclamations, 1.3.1, Earth Day. Dr. Amy Gray.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Budzinski, Board of Trustees, and JJC community. It is my pleasure to introduce Naomi Barnes. She is a current freshman with a passion for nature and arts and has been a sustainability student employee since October of 2025. She is currently undecided for her major, but she does know that someday she would like to combine her love for the arts and love for our planet to promote environmental stewardship. So she is the perfect person to read the proclamation for Earth Month.
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, whereas Earth Month is celebrated at Joliet Junior College through the entire month of April, as is prudent since the Earth provides us with all of our resources and is the only known planet that can sustain human life. Whereas beginning on April 22nd, 1970, Earth Day paves an avenue for sustainable growth and connection to a global consciousness, fostering resilient communities and technological innovation. Now more than ever, these environmental, economic, and social equity issues should be integrated into different curriculums, career paths, businesses, government, and lifestyle choices through the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Whereas Joliet Junior College recognizes the importance of maintaining the planet's ecological balance and responsible usage of resources through its board policy 9.04 Sustainability, adopted March 2012, and through the adoption of sustainability as one of our 7 core values and the annual celebration of Arbor Day, April 24th, 2026. Whereas the Joliet Junior College Office of Sustainability is committed in their mission to educate students, faculty, staff, and administration on the importance of sustainability through our individual and community contributions. During Earth Month, we acknowledge the personal responsibility we all share to think globally and act locally. As environmental stewards of planet Earth, this has never been more timely or important as it is now. Whereas the Office of Sustainability is focused on promoting cycles of reuse and a circular economy through initiatives like the Take a Table, BYO Bring Your Own campaign and pledge, and the Romeoville Repair Cafe. Whereas JJC's sustainability initiatives will extend beyond the Joliet's community, will extend beyond the college to Joliet's community and enable us to educate and inform the public as to what we can accomplish together through community collaborations like Recyclepalooza with Will County Land Use, Slammers Water Day with the City of Joliet, Earth Awareness Day with Frankfurt Library, and Fall Fest with Crest Hill Library. Now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Community College District number 525, Joliet Junior College of counties Will, Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, Kankakee, Livingston, and Cook, and the state of Illinois hereby proclaim that the month of April 2026 as Earth Month in Illinois Community College District number 525, adopted this 11th day of March 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Also, you guys should come to Romeoville Repair Cafe on Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock. Okay, thanks.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 1.3.2, the Community College Month. Dr. Carl Brooks.
Yes. JJC's most smiliest student, I would say, is going to be reading. Members of the Board of Trustees and those in attendance at today's meeting, it gives me great pleasure to introduce JJC student Abigail Camacho, who has graciously agreed to read the JJC Proclamation, which recognizes the month of April 2026 as Community College Month. Before Abigail reads the proclamation, I'd like to share a little bit about her. Abigail Camacho is in her third semester here at Joliet Junior College, working towards an Associates of Arts before transferring to major in nonprofit management and leadership. She works in career services, serves as a student ambassador for the Center of Multicultural Access and Success, and holds leadership roles across campus as president of the Collegiate Club Council, vice president of Reach for Phi Theta Kappa, and vice president of Latino Unidos. You are tired and busy, so you're the perfect person to read this proclamation. Abigail is also collaborating with a Naperville native Atusa Frere on the second annual Thrive Fest Health and Wellness event. In her free time, if she has any, she enjoys crafting, especially scrapbooking and collaging. I humbly present to you JJC student Abigail Camacho.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that.
Hi, Abigail.
Hello. All right, I'm going to get started. Community College Month. Whereas more than 1,200 community, technical, and junior colleges, public and private, in the United States have contributed enormously to the richness and availability of American higher education. And whereas the public and private community, junior, and technical colleges provide a broad array of educational services, which include transfer education, 2-year associate degree programs, certificate programs for employment, basic skill education, continuing and community education. And whereas community colleges work in partnership with business, industry, and government to provide job training assistance and economic development. And whereas community colleges provide necessary resources for community service, including career development, job search assistant, counseling, and developmental education. And whereas through these services, community colleges meet diverse and changing local needs and fulfill a vital function within the state's higher education system. And whereas community colleges provide an opportunity to obtain post-secondary education at a reasonable cost within commuting distance of their students' homes. And whereas Joliet Junior College is one of the 39 community college districts in Illinois providing occupational, pre-baccalaureate, and continuing education courses and services to more than 1 million Illinois citizens each year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Joliet Junior College Board of Trustees hereby designates the month of April as Community College Month in Illinois Community College District Number 525, and encourages all citizens to recognize the value and opportunities available to them at Joliet Junior College and at community, technical, and junior colleges throughout the United States. Adopted this 11th day of March, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 1.3.3, the National Arab American Heritage Month. Dr. Carl Brooks.
Chairman, before I introduce our student speaker, I would like to recognize Ramadan and the members of our community that observe the spiritual practice, which will conclude at the end of next week. Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Observance means abstinence from eating or drinking anything from dawn till dusk. Now the introduction of our student. Members of the Board of Trustees and those in attendance at today's meeting, it gives me great pleasure to introduce JJC student Sarah Al-Salih, who graciously agreed to read the JJC proclamation, which recognizes the month of April 2026 as Arab American Heritage Month. Before Sarah reads the proclamation, I'd like to share a little bit about her. Sarah is a pre-law accounting student at JJC with plans to graduate in spring 2026 and concurrently completing a paralegal career diploma through Penn Foster. She serves as secretary of the Muslim Student Society at JJC and is passionate about art and history. Sarah has volunteered with the Will County Historical Society and Research Center, helping with research and archival initiatives. She hopes to one day curate her own exhibition showcasing her work. I humbly present to all of you JJC student Sarah Al-Salih.
Hi, Sarah.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay.
Good evening.
I hope you're having a good day, and Ramadan Kareem, that means happy Ramadan. Whereas Joliet Junior College proudly recognizes April as National Arab American Heritage Month. This month provides an opportunity to acknowledge the history, culture, and achievements of Arab Americans who have made and continue to make valuable contributions to our society, advancing progress and promoting equality for all. Whereas the Arab American Institute estimates that roughly 3,700,000 Arab Americans are living in the United States from a variety of faith backgrounds, including both Christians and Muslims originating from any of the 22 Arabic-speaking countries. Approximately 450,000 people of Arab American descent in Illinois. And whereas celebrating the many cultures and heritages represented in our state reminds us that despite our different backgrounds, we share a common hope for a more inclusive and equitable future. Whereas, for over a century, Arab Americans have been making valuable contributions to virtually every aspect of American society, including medicine, law, business, technology, government, and culture. And whereas, Arab American individuals and families have shared their rich traditions of folklore, strong work ethic, and their dedication to education, while embracing the American values of opportunity and community, helping to build a stronger nation and a stronger state of Illinois. Whereas National Arab American Heritage Month, also known as NAHAM, also provides a meaningful opportunity to address misconceptions misinformation, anti-Arab racism, and discrimination by uplifting accomplishments, expanding public understanding, and encouraging culturally competent policies and practices. Whereas we recognize and celebrate the contributions to cultural diversity, economic growth, and the overall development of our campuses, our state, and our nation made by Arab American communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Community College District Number 525, Joliet Junior College, counties of Will, Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, Kankakee, Livingston, and Cook, State of Illinois, does hereby recognize and honor April as the National Arab American Heritage Month, adopted this 11th day of March 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 1.4, public comments. Karen, do we have any public comments?
None that I'm aware of.
Thank you. Item 1.5, at this time, I'm going to request a moment of silence. Dr. Namul?
Chairman, thank you. I'm asking the college community to join me in a moment of silence for the following individuals. Iran Afshari Falahi Karagani, mother of Dr. Roya Falahi Karagani, professor of social and behavioral sciences. Patricia Steer, retiree in our CIS department for 23 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Item 1.6, selected reports. 1.6.1, course fees report. Dr. Amy Gray.
Good evening again, and thank you very much for allowing me just a few minutes to review course fees and really why they are so important to operations of our classrooms and academic affairs. I thought it'd be good just to review, we have lots of different types of fees. So we have our technology fee, which all students are charged all these fees, but technology is for replacement of computers, for hardware, software, if we're going to invest in a new technology. Then we have our student service fee, which is $4. That goes for programs including athletics, student clubs, our rave system, student IDs. We have our capital assessment fee of $21 each semester, which funds debt service on bonds related to construction and capital projects. But the one that's on the agenda tonight is the course fees. And one way that these are different than the fees above is that all of these go directly back to the classroom. They have their own account, and it goes back to purchasing what we need in the classroom. And we are very diligent, I would say, on what that is used for and the process that we go through each year. So each year in February, we come to the board and we say, these are the courses we are withdrawing, and so those course fees go away. Here are new courses, and so these course fees are attached to these new courses. The tricky one, or the one that we put a lot of thought into, are the increases. So we have a total of 1,126 active courses. This month, we are asking for increases in 57 of those courses.
How many courses, I'm sorry?
Do we have all together?
No, the numbers you just mentioned.
57,
Before that?
1,126.
Thank you.
So usually starting in December, and then we really look hard in January. The chairs, who are faculty in each program, look at the course fees. And they make an assessment, are the course fees serving their purpose? Are we able to purchase everything we need for the classroom or not? If there is a course where the fees are not covering what is needed in the classroom, They'll make that request to the dean. Then the dean brings it to me, and we go over those. Then those requests go to the president and the executive vice president, and then it ends up here at the board meeting for approval. What we spend these fees on is the important part. So the 57 courses that are on the agenda this evening where we're asking for a slight increase is made up of these programs. If you'll look at the second one down, culinary arts, of the 57 courses, 26 of them come directly from culinary. That is because of the increase in the price of food. And when the chairs ask for an increase, like, they drill down and they have to provide justification. So this is where I learned that the cost of beef is up 30%. The cost of poultry is up 25%. The cost of vanilla bean, $150 a pound. So overall cost of food has gone up 38% in the last few years. And so what we're bringing in course fees just isn't covering everything that they need in the classroom. Some of the DMS, which is our ultrasound program, they are asking for this increase to pay for calibration services on the ultrasound machines. They need specific gloves. They need specific covers that go over the transducers that they use for the ultrasounds.
Which one are you on?
DMS, which is
Oh, DMS.
ultrasound.
Okay,
I'm
thank
kind of
you.
lumping them together. So culinary is our biggest one.
Yep. Mhm.
DMS is ultrasound. So they're asking for a total of $665 over 8 courses total.
Okay.
Sociology, education, history, poli-sci, those are all in our social behavioral sciences courses. They have not asked for an increase since 1999. And their increases, they've added field trips, they've added guest speakers, and they purchased a laptop cart to use in their programs. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions.
Do we have any questions from the board?
I do. Okay, questions. Are these I know culinary arts is part of the differentiated tuition also. So I think culinary art students already pay more tuition than regular gen ed students, right?
I got it.
Kind of?
We did have variable tuition, and it's been probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years by now, that we brought to the board to get rid of that because it was really affecting enrollment. So they just pay regular tuition now,
So we don't have variable tuition at all?
not for culinary arts.
Okay, but there are other programs that do have,
There are.
okay. I think automotive is one, right?
Paramedic is one, yeah. Radiography, I believe, nursing.
Radiography, which is the DMS one that you just mentioned?
No, radiography is X-ray.
Okay, these are ultrasound.
This is ultrasound.
And ultrasound does not have variable tuition.
I don't believe, yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay, so variable tuition for new trustees is where certain programs, students to be in that program, they pay. I think nursing is variable too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so they're paying higher tuition already as it is. And with adding course fees, now they're gonna pay a little bit. Well, tuition was just raised for everybody across the board, right?
Right.
Okay, so now we're adding course fees, so that's gonna be extra on top of what was already. Okay. I'm glad to hear that culinary arts is no longer in the variable because, I mean, we have a whole building catered just for culinary arts students. So we really, really need to focus and target enrollment efforts in that particular field, especially since we put a lot of investment into a building in our downtown city center area. So that was my question about the differentiated tuition. We still have it, but culinary arts is no longer part of that.
No, it's
Good.
not. And getting rid of variable tuition, it did work because enrollment is up significantly in culinary.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, all right.
But then that also means that we have more cost in the classroom. And just with food going up,
Right.
that's been the
Yeah.
biggest impact in culinary.
Yeah, elections have consequences.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. And not only do we have the chairs like break down what is the increase in poultry and beef, they even got down to the details of 21% increase in foil and paper products, 22% increase in plastic wrap and tools. Like none of this is ever taken lightly. They have to justify every dollar. And we go back and look, okay, what did we spend last year? But in this area, like I said, 26 out of the 57 requests are from culinary. That's where we've seen the biggest increase in classroom materials.
Wow. Okay, can I ask real quick, what are the other ones asking for? Like, the ones that haven't had it in 1999, since then, I think, well, like, what expenses are they seeing now? Other than inflation, but give me an example, please.
Yeah. So, for example, sociology, criminal justice, education, history, they have added student experiences, such as taking the students to Springfield each year. They did that in poli-sci and sociology last year, but there's a cost to that. They brought in guest speakers, but there's a cost to that as well. And they didn't used to do that, but it has also helped retention in those areas. The students are more excited. Again, when course fees go directly back to the course for which the money was charged. So if, like criminal justice, they want a $7, they have 2 courses and they'd like to have a $7 course fee for each one. That $7 will go directly back to that criminal justice course.
Can we write a grant to see if maybe the foundation can help us with that? Can we ask?
With course fees?
I think I want to jump in. I mean, certainly grants are available for a wide variety of things, and actually we've been the recipient of a Department of Justice grant in the last 4 years. Want to add connected to that comment, Trustee Morales, is when the board approves these fees, and our ICCTA and ACCT trustees or those with that experience will appreciate this. What you as a board are doing are designating these course fees as eligible for financial aid, right? So I appreciate that Dr. Gray and her team scrutinizes every increase. Ultimately, what that does for our students are 2 things. Number one, it leverages the buying power of JJC, right? So if you think about PPE, personal protective equipment, they would have to go out and purchase that on their own. But in many cases, we're able to leverage the size of Joliet Junior College and how many students we serve to get a better deal on these consumable items. But certainly, to respond to your question about grants, it's something we are very strategic about. Grants don't solve everything, require tremendous effort behind the scenes as well, and oftentimes strategies like this are the better financial approach for our students.
To have them pay more for fees?
To pass on costs that we incur as part of instruction.
Okay.
And allowing them, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Newell, but allowing them to use their financial aid. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to include it if it wasn't approved by the board. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions from the board?
When I'm looking at the health services, I see 75 to 150. Is there something that could have been a little bit sooner? Because when was the last time, this is a 50% increase.
They could have asked, since 1999. Actually, on this one, they did ask last year, and for some reason, it did not get included in the request. But even before last year, yeah, they should have asked.
Yeah, because what are we, I see the anatomy, I see all this, the science stuff and that, but what are we trying to gain from? I'm trying to understand the $75 increase, because I'm sure the students are going to have a issue with that too.
It's $75.
Currently, it's 75, and it's gonna go to 150, right?
For, which one is that?
I'm looking at all the ones at the lower page of page, whatever page it is, of 3.6, we're showing the chart. It's all with health services. They go from 75 to 150, 25 to 150, 75 to 150. This seems to be, and I marked these because these were the concerns that I had, that they were jumping up more than 50%.
Look at that one.
I mean, I'm looking at the 5 to
Oh,
15,
okay.
that's
So
$10.
these are out the ultrasound.
So I'm looking at that. I mean, I see what you're doing with culinary. I understand the culinary part, but I don't understand why we're jumping so much. Because even when I look at culinary, you're not going up that much with culinary. You're going up sometimes $25 with the different
Yeah.
ones. Okay? And now I'm looking at the science ones, these and the health services, they're going up 50%. Why
So
would-
these are all the ultrasound increases. So it is a total of $665 spread over 8 courses. This equipment is so expensive.
Mhm.
And they haven't, well, let me back up. Our accrediting body said we need to have an open lab,
Mhm.
and so students can practice, which makes great sense. So there's been a lot more use of the equipment and the machines. One of those transducers cost over $1,000, and it's just the one little piece that they use to scan the abdomen.
Mhm.
So when this stuff breaks, it's expensive.
So do we have insurance on the stuff that breaks? Or are we not, I mean, is there any type of replacement cost or any type of insurance on it? in
Well, I mean,
case?
we've been using it for at least probably 7 years,
Okay, so
6, 7 years.
So 7 years, but wouldn't we have known some of the costs then during that 7 years? Because I mean, I'm looking at how much is going up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm at.
Well, but it wasn't broken then. So like
So it's
everything was
broke.
working fine.
So it's broken now.
Yes.
That's why you have to do this.
Yes.
So when you have it repaired,
Mhm.
do you have any type of warranty that extends onto it?
Yeah, it's like a year warranty.
A year warranty and that's it? Mm. And we don't have any insurance here that does replacement insurance?
Any other questions?
Yes. So I have a comment and then a question.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much for being able to break down and provide some critical information about the process and how detailed the process is, and how we don't take lightly being able to increase any course fees for any of the particular courses, and being able to break down just that general information about the different categories. So thank you for that. I would like to hear a little bit more about how we have different programs at JJC to help with financial assistance and scholarships that could help reduce the burden on our students. Can we have a little bit of a summary on the different assistance that we have available?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Do you mean financial assistance as it relates to the course fees?
Correct.
Okay. So once the board approves course fees, when the student pays their tuition, that's included in what they owe. And that allows them to use the Pell, the financial aid that they qualify for that amount that they owe for that course. Now, of course, students can get grants, students can, again, Pell, financial aid, if they have a scholarship. But for those, for that bill to be paid, the course fees have to be approved.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So if I may clarify, and just jump in a little bit, Board of Trustees. So in addition to financial aid, that's just one example that Dr. Gray has communicated. But again, we do have a very strong partnership with our foundation. Students have the opportunity to apply, for scholarships But then also we have what we call the Emergency Student Fund that is facilitated through the Vice President of Student Development area. So if you have a student that really needs financial support, they can go to the foundation office for that additional support. And sometimes it's just not an emergency, but it could also include fees.
For the emergency, is that something that is also available on our page, or is there a way for people to request that assistance without going to the foundation office?
I believe so. It's facilitated through our mental health area. Is that correct, Dr. Brooks? Just want to clarify as well.
Yes, and our Dean of Students Office
Thank you.
also supports students in various needs. We have various grants presently as well, whether those students are housing insecure, food insecure, or have outstanding bills that they qualify for us to assist with. So there's plenty of opportunities for students that are in need to express that need and get support.
And I could say the foundation has had very open communication with my office, with the academic deans, that if there ever is a student that they recognize needs help, to send them directly to the foundation. They've been really, really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions. Did we vote to increase fees in any programs last year?
Every year.
Every year we do
Every
increases?
February. We do
So
it.
it just depends every year on like what courses we're specifically looking at for
Exactly.
increases? Okay. I think one of my follow-up questions is, what is our process for overall analyzing what our fee structures are? Because hearing that we haven't had increases in some of these since 1999, sorry, no, I want to put it back too far, but that's a little concerning to me, because I think, to really echo what Trustee Broderick is sharing, when you start to see an exponential increase, is there something we could have done to kind of slowly increase things compared to waiting
Sure.
17 years, 18?
Even longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
27, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, so if you look, those programs are in the social and behavioral sciences. So if you look, they're asking for a $7 course fee, a $10 course fee. These are, on our arts and sciences side, many of those courses, especially the liberal arts courses, have much lower course. They don't need the equipment. They don't have labs. And so it actually is quite rare that they ever ask, because they just don't need it. And we are very diligent trying to make sure that when we make a request like this, it is in the courses that actually need it. They have an account, and we look at that toward the end of each year, usually around October, November. I look in those accounts and I say, okay, have we spent that? Did we need that? And for many years, social behavioral sciences really hasn't. They've been able to provide everything they needed with the course fees that were there. But when they've added these student experiences, like taking students to Springfield, like taking them to the Joliet prison, that added a cost. So they honestly haven't needed it. Now, our programs that have lots of disposables, that have the food, that have equipment, those are the ones that very much more frequently are going to be asking for increases, because their supplies are going up.
Yeah, I mean, we are all live in this world right now, and I think all aware of what the increase of costs are from a food standpoint, disposables. I think fee increases aren't great, but recognizing that we need to do this, I'm on board. My request that I'm going to make for next year, if fee increases come up, if we could also have when the last time they were increased, because I think that's helpful, and I think provide some additional insight for the board. So thank you.
And I can tell the chairs take this so seriously that they don't come with a request unless they have done their due diligence. They have looked at everything, and they can basically prove to the deans and to me that we need it. We try to be very cost effective.
Anything else? Trustee Harris.
I do have a question, but I'm not sure if it fits. But how do we determine which courses are worth keeping?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh,
okay. So every year we do, it's called an annual program update, and we look at every facet of a program you can imagine. We look at the retention, we look at the enrollment, we look at the pass rates if there's a certification exam. We look at employment rates. So I'll give you an example. Interior design, we noticed, because we do this every year, we are having major declines in this program. We don't have students interested. The ones who are in it really needed a bachelor's degree. The field has changed so much with technology, and so we start watching it. And if students aren't getting jobs out of a program, that's a big red flag. If we, luckily we don't have this problem, but if we had a program where students weren't passing a certification exam, that would be a big problem. So if we look at that and then we start really making decisions about, is this a viable program? Has this field changed? We don't want to flood the market. But this, if you're ever interested, I'll be happy to share an annual program update review the chairs do in conjunction with the other faculty. And it's a pretty thick document, but we use that for planning, we use it for budgeting, and to check viability of a program annually.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank
What was
you.
that process called?
Annual program update. We call it-
Annual program update?
The APU.
Okay.
Trustee Brown.
Thank you.
I just want to quickly thank you for the presentation and also thank all of you for, putting such scrutiny on a course fee increase for the students. It goes through 5 levels of leadership. I do have one question, however. Are course fees proportional to active enrollment in a program?
Our course fees per part. Well, I would say yes. That's a good question too. I would say yes because if all of a sudden, for example, the enrollment of a course goes down, so do those course fees because it's paid per student. So yeah.
Thank you.
Trustee Broderick, did you have a follow-up?
Just one more. How much is all this costing? What's the cost factor involved in doing all these increases?
Let me go back a slide. Is it closed out?
Yeah.
It is, so over the 57 courses. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So over the 57 courses, if I add up that middle column, it's approximately, I can give you the exact number when I get to a calculator, but it's about 1,500 over the 57 courses.
1,500 only?
Mhm.
And we don't have any other resources like our reserves to pull or anything out of the education fund to help out with it? I'm just asking. Because they're getting hit with the $2 increase and I'm not hearing positive on that, so that's why I'm asking about this.
I mean, I guess that is that's another discussion on where this comes from. But again, every year, this is a separate fee. It is 1,366. Okay, your math is better. It is a separate
Thanks,
fee
Karen.
that again goes directly back to our 05 accounts. It doesn't go to the ed fund, so we're not putting money in the ed fund to pull out. It's a different account.
And I'm just looking for alternative sources because when you look at that, it's a small dollar amount, $1,300. We got them with the tuition. Is there anything we can do to help them with this? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, Trustee Broderick, I want to jump in with that and just add that the administration is not recommending accessing our reserves at all for this. When you look at, I think the number is about 5%, Amy?
Yeah, a little bit
57
less.
out of 1,100 or so courses. That strategy, accessing assets like reserves would serve to deplete that over time, whereas this will allow students to access federal financial aid. So administration is not recommending that also in part because these are the 5% of the courses that we have at the college, and if we were to access reserves to pay for this, it would set just a dangerous precedent, dangerous financial
I'm just asking for
precedent.
resources, because when you look at it's under $1,500. I'm just looking, it's a small dollar amount.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate being in a state, because I've been in other states that don't support students the way the state of Illinois does. And the state of Arizona does not have state-level financial aid. So I'm really thankful that we have, multiple levels of support. And I'll share a little bit later in my report, but first dollar to last dollar is the technical financial aid term. Pell Grants are designed to be first dollar, and scholarships are designed to be last dollar. But there are so many other strategies in between all of those, and we're confident that our students with the most need, the students who need it the most, have access to all of those different types of dollars.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the trustees? Yes.
Quick question, and maybe, I don't know if you can answer this, but what percentage of our students receive financial aid again? And the reason I ask that is because I know that every year the limit on what they get, if they are, for example, we used to be a 0 EFC, which meant high need. That now is out the window. Now it's a negative 1,500 SAI, is the same as a 0 before, and that amount of financial aid just from Pell alone is 7,395. Plus they get MAP, which is the state of Illinois grant on top of that. Plus if they're really, really needing, then they get SEOG, Supplemental Education Opportunities Grant, on top of that. So, but that is really good for the high need students that have, their families are really, really, which a lot of them probably right now are, but what is our number of families that are receiving like financial aid?
Trustee Moore, 32%.
32%?
32%, correct.
So the rest of them are not getting financial aid?
We know currently 32%, but there are some students that also receive scholarships as well.
Yeah, but that's the ones that get
That's
full
part of
financial
it.
aid are in the minority rather. So the majority of our students are feeling the tuition increase because they're not getting help from Pell or MAP. And I know they get help with books, the ones that do. 32% of our kids are getting financial assistance. We're actually paying them to come here because they're getting money back when their disbursement check comes in too. Any monies they don't use, they keep, which is great for them. And thank God we have that. But it's only 32% of our students. So I'm wondering why don't more apply, or aren't they being encouraged to apply?
Every single
And I
student.
feel like I have this conversation every single year.
Yeah, I know, but every single student that enters JJC, including in the high school, we introduce them to financial aid. So
You
we
introduce them,
encourage,
but do
we,
you make
we
them
encourage
apply?
most of them to, every single student to apply. In fact, if I don't have the number, but thousands of students apply for financial aid.
Okay, I know because when
I
I
know.
came here, I was paying out of pocket,
Yeah.
not knowing I was a 0 EFC.
Oh,
Right,
sorry
nobody
to hear
told me,
that.
nobody introduced me
yeah,
to that.
yeah,
And until I figured, I'm like, oh geez,
yeah.
So
I understand.
have we done anything to change that?
Yeah, and in fact, it's mandatory for us to have conversations, one-on-one conversations with students about financial aid, about loan opportunities as well. So, thousands of students.
Well,
And some
I hear
students
words, but I don't see
decide not
reports.
to, apply for financial aid as well. So,
They're saving it for their 4-year.
Trustee Garcia again.
I just wanted to mention something. It's not really a question. It's more of a statement. Something that we have seen across other organizations, institutions, and maybe Dr. Farmer, you can speak to this a little bit as well. And I think you started to mention it. Everything that is happening at the federal level is affecting our students' interests, thought about, the idea of whatever you want to call it, of being able to apply for FAFSA or alternative, the RISE applications, because there's a real concern that data is not going to be safe for specific community members that might be in a mixed status household.
So they're not applying. Yeah.
Exactly, correct. So all of that does not help. Of course, there's still a gap between high school and even before students are able to decide if they want to go to a community college. in being able to reach some of the students that might not be very well connected in student clubs and different things. So that always affects the type of information that students are receiving, but everything that is happening at the federal level does not help with students' interest to be able to apply for some of the programs that they might be eligible. So just wanted to make that statement.
Any other questions? Trustee Harris, do you have any follow-up?
No, just thank you for that good description.
Trustee Bishop, any follow-up?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gray.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman, as Dr. Gray's making her way, just want to comment that, Trustee Morales, we share your frustration with that number. But, and I'm going to bring this back to the board and communicate this to the board at some point. The 32% used to be much lower at JJC. And so it's a result of several factors, but I'm going to cite just two of them. Number one, as Trustee Morales and helped educate the college community, the transition from EFC to Student Aid Index actually drastically increased eligibility, right? So more students were able to access financial aid than ever before. So just right off the bat. And then we've been able to do some things, access to, or rather presence in high schools and, step-up days, as we talked about last month, financial aid counseling sessions, individual counseling sessions. So I'm confident the team's doing everything possible, but Trustee Morales, I share your frustration there because that number should be higher, and we're going to do everything we can to get it as high as possible.
I know you are. I know, but like Nancy, Trustee Garcia, Vice Chair Garcia just mentioned, a lot of students aren't filling out the FAFSA because they don't want to be tracked.
Yep.
And we should still be able to help them somehow because they're eligible for aid, but they're not going to ask for it.
Absolutely.
Item 1.6.2, the student trustee report.
Hi, friends. It's nice to see you again. I hope you're all enjoying a little bit of time to yourselves if you're a student watching, and I hope you've all enjoyed your week thus far. Let's get started with our March 11th, 2026 board report. Oh, I didn't even grab the pointer. So quickly, I want to recap the Black Student Union Gala. There were a little bit over 100 attendees, and if I recall, we had some audience members there who ended up presenting and speaking there. We also hosted the Political Etiquette Summit on the 20th this month with 44 unique participants, more than 5 presenters, and I'd like to just express a special thanks to Trustees Bottomley and Broderick for both attending. I know student government appreciated your attendance very much. For upcoming campus events for March and April, there's going to be Latinos Unidos Career Services Resume Workshop on the 16th. On the 17th, IDALE will be hosting their St. Patrick's Day bake sale. On the 23rd, there will be a blood drive at Romeoville campus. The 24th will be a DIY Lego minifigures at City Center, and I think that's a painting event. I might be mistaken. On the 28th is Easter Bunny Pictures and a Bone Hunt, which is a $10 entrance fee that's set to take place at 10 a.m. On the 7th is voter registration, hosted in the Cafe Curve. On the 13th is the Culinary Career Fair. On the 14th and 16th is Empty Bowls 2026 and Student Advocacy Day on the 16th as well. And then on March 26th, don't think I forgot, is the annual College and Career Fair. It's the 11th annual one, and that goes from 1 to 5 p.m.
What day was that?
That's going to be the 26th of this month.
In the,
Sorry?
in that building.
In the event center, correct. That's going to conclude my report for this month. I know it's a bit brief, but thankfully people are enjoying some time to themselves.
We have questions.
Yeah, we have a question.
No questions or questions?
Yes, question.
Oh, go ahead.
Are we doing anything to encourage civic engagement? I know a couple meetings ago, I asked if we could earmark some money to have this program start that I saw at another college, and I believe Dr. Namo was going to check with that president. I don't know if that program, I know right now it probably is not launched. It's too soon, but before that even takes place, is student government doing anything to get out the vote?
Absolutely.
What
So
are you guys
that's an
doing?
amazing question. Student government typically hosts about 3 events to encourage active civic engagement across the community. And Dr. Sims may correct me if I'm mistaken at a later point, but about 2 months ago, we hosted another voter registration. I can't quite remember the amount of participants, but I do know that we partnered with the library to do so. And they're active. We encourage participation every semester, and we just keep seeing more and more.
But no numbers.
Not off the top of my head, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
And there was an additional question, right? Okay.
I had one, but I think it speaks for
Do you need
itself.
any-
That
Do you need any more registers at all?
Sorry?
Do you need any more registers, voter registers?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, if you do, I'm available.
the bone is for pets.
Moving on to item 1.6.3, the faculty union report with Kurt Ward. I'm sorry, did you have a question?
Well, I just asked him. I just want to be sure that.
Happy spring break week. So hopefully our students are off enjoying time away from their instructors, because I'm sure the instructors are enjoying the time away from their students. But hopefully they all come back ready to finish up strong the last 8 weeks. Hey, along, civic duty, I early voted today.
Yay!
So my challenge to everybody in this room, whether you pull a Republican or a Democrat ballot, there are people who are looking for your votes.
Absolutely.
See if you can begin to approach my stats for record of voting. This is something I take very seriously.
Good.
Since I turned 18, and in those days, you registered to vote, and because you were a male, you filled out a piece of paper for the selective services. So a little different than today. I have never missed the opportunity to vote in an election since that day.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful.
All right, so to our students who are listening, get started,
Right.
because it's our civic duty. It's the least that we can do.
Absolutely.
All right, on to my regularly scheduled comments. All right. I'll expect a small stipend
There
from
you
both the
go.
Republican and the Democratic Party for
There
those
you go.
comments, right?
Also for independents too.
And that's right. And in this state, you can, even as an independent, you can pull one of those ballots.
That's right.
And election day is Tuesday, by the way. So, last month, I spoke about world-class education, because I believe that's something we deliver here. And I also talked about the fact it's not cheap, right? But it's interesting, when you go back and do the math, with even all the increases we've talked about, you realize we're still the 10th cheapest community college for our students in the state of Illinois? That's amazing. So anyway, this month I want to continue the conversation and highlight specifically the faculty, and I can't do that without also mentioning the staff and the administrators who support them in 2 areas of study on this campus. I want to start with what I'm going to group together, I'm going to call nursing and healthcare professionals. And I realize healthcare professionals is a lot of programs over in that U building. And I choose this area because it turns out I'm getting a bit older. And it turns out I utilize some of those services maybe more frequently than when I was younger. And you begin to recognize really the value of the classroom and the laboratory training that these students get with real world learning experiences. And I got to believe if I'm a potential employer out there looking to hire one of our graduates from those areas, you don't not only expect, you demand that level of training. And because I think their clients, me, would expect that to get that care as a patient. And our programs over there are amazing, and literally, they're meeting those expectations every semester. The other area I want to talk about is culinary arts. I would be willing to bet every one of us in this room has enjoyed some yummy food down at the City Center campus, right? And if that's not enough to make you a believer, do you realize that the tickets to the Wandering Feast sold out faster than the last Taylor Swift concert?
Wow. Nice. Kurt, nice.
Yeah, 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, there were no tickets left. Taylor Swift, you got nothing on JJC. Okay?
And they're $125.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you wanted the special chef's experience, it went up from there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a one-time one, too.
Right? So, how about that? But here's the reality: the skill set that our students are learning down there,
Amazing.
they're not winding up at McDonald's. Not that McDonald's is bad, right?
Right.
They're getting the skills for great paying jobs at some of the finest restaurants in this country. All right? And I highlighted these two areas this evening amongst many across campus that provide world-class hands-on learning experiences. And those skills come with associated course or lab fees. And, those fees, they cover a portion of the materials needed to deliver those skill sets. And I did some, Google AI research. Quality food ingredients and healthcare consumables are two examples of costs that are increasing at rates higher than inflation. All right, so obviously our programs get that. So this evening, what I'm asking you to do is to partner with the faculty in this world-class learning experience by approving the modest increases in these select courses that you have before you tonight. Because together, we're going to continue to deliver a world-class learning experience that sets our students on a path to success. And with that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.6.4, the adjunct faculty report. Dr. Barbara Wilhen will not be with us tonight, so we will not have a report. We'll move on to 1.6.5, the JJC Foundation report with Amanda Quinn.
Hello, good evening. I had to bring my notes today because I wrote a bunch of them from earlier. So I just want to respond to a few things that were talked about. In terms of foundation scholarships, I just want you to know that they're not tuition only. So they cover tuition, fees, and books. About 90 to 95% of them are set up that way. So with an increase, it is supported through foundation scholarships, the majority of them. And then also our scholarships are put on MAP first, then our foundation scholarships, then Pell. So we're able to support students that they'll get the money back if they receive Pell. So the other thing I wanted to address is actually Dr. Namuo and I had a meeting and he was asking me for numbers on scholarships. I haven't yet shared any of this with him, but the one thing I noticed is for the majority of our scholarships that we give out, in our top four are culinary arts and health profession scholarships. So we're supporting those students that are receiving those increases. Just want you to all be aware. And then the other thing that was talked about is awards for innovation and excellence in our grant opportunities. That is open right now for not only faculty, staff, but also students can apply. And that's for innovative projects. So they can apply for up to $50,000. It closes on April 8th. So there is an opportunity to apply for grants, but they really want to focus on innovative projects across campus. So we often support projects, equipment, many times for our nursing department, things like that. So just wanted to answer a few things, and if you have any, I can answer some more at the end of my report. The one thing we're really excited about is next week is our employee giving campaign. It's one of our favorite things because our employees are amazing. They give over $100,000 annually to the foundation. Now, we've talked a lot tonight, even about student emergency funds. They they are the ones who fund the Student Emergency Fund, really. So probably, I've done the math before, but it's about 90 to 95%, again, of the support we receive for that fund is from our own employees, because they see the students firsthand. They see the help that they need. So our theme this year, we always have a theme, is tied to books. And so for all our book lovers out there, we have some fun little gifts for them when they come into the office. So that takes place all next week, and it's in the foundation office, and we celebrate all of our employees that come in. So we have a really good time. So we'll be busy next week if anyone wants to pop in. The other thing that we do to support students with food insecurity is our Empty Bowls project. This is a collaboration between the foundation, Culinary Arts, Office of Student Activities, and our Fine Arts Department. So for a donation of $15, individuals can come and get a bowl of soup and bread and a handcrafted bowl that's made by our Fine Arts Department, not me, because it wouldn't be pretty if it was me. So that takes place on Tuesday, April 14th from 11:30 to 1 at City Center in our Thrive restaurant. There's about 40 tickets left to that. And then Thursday, April 16th, 11:30 to 1 at our main campus in the cafeteria. That one's running out. We have about 30 spots to that left. So if you would like to attend, please sign up. I feel like I want to have links to everything for everyone, because all my slides have links, jjc.edu/emptybows. But any of the stuff I'm talking about, you could put in the search on the foundation or on the college webpage and get there. So I hope you'll come. It's a really great event. We raise a lot of money for food insecurities for our students. And then I always like to give an update on our fall application. Again, it's open right now, February 1st to May 15th. We've had 1,151 students starting the application, 454 completed. That number's low right now, but the next step days just started this week. And we have 1.5 million available to award. That number might be closer to 1.6. I'm just afraid to put that yet. But it might even be more than 1.6. And then I just I know we've talked a lot about recruitment and what departments are doing. I want to tell you what we're doing in our department. So we do go to the next step days at the 25 feeder high schools. The first two took place yesterday and today. So our scholarship team is out there meeting with students, telling them about scholarships, and even actually the number yesterday was 1,151. That's 1,180 right now. So just with yesterday and this morning when I checked it. So it continues to rise. And I imagine in the next month that number is going to really skyrocket. So again, jjc.edu/scholarships to apply. It's one application. It's easy. And it requires 3 essays for our students to talk about themselves. So not too difficult. I thought it would be a good idea to start highlighting either a student or a donor at this, because we have so many amazing students who receive scholarships and donors that give them. So I met with an alumna, Polly Fisk Yaguchi, and she started a $100,000 endowment called with her husband, Duke, who is not an alum, but he wears purple every time he comes, so I love him. So they have a scholarship for non-traditional students majoring in education, and her preference is to somebody whose first language is not English. So that it's a great opportunity for our students, and we have so many donors just like Polly that are doing this kind of stuff. Our communications office put together a wonderful piece on them in their contribution, and you can search for that on the webpage too, because that's a lot of words. So just going to share that, and I hope to do that moving forward at least one person every time. And then always I know you received the grant update information in your packet, but the numbers are now over $10.9 million, and now the projection is closer to $11.3 million, probably more. So exciting news from our grants team, and they've been hard at work, and they're writing a lot of grants right now. So the spring is pretty crazy for them and very, very busy. And then I made the mistake of seeing that Dr. Namuo has something about this in his presentation when I was in a meeting with him. So I won't say too much, but this is a great Wiley Student Leadership is a collaboration between, again, the foundation and student activities and career services, where it's a year-long leadership academy where students learn about networking, then they put that networking into work, and then they meet with alumni, and it's pretty amazing. Dr. Namuo actually was the guest speaker this month, and I'm sure he'll talk more about that. So great collaboration at the college, and just happy to share that. And then Jen does an amazing job with our JJC Alumni Podcast, and Javier Reyes, I know we were talking a lot about the cost of food. He's actually the person that deals with all the food in the Culinary Arts Department. Alum of JJC, great podcast. I encourage you all to listen to the podcast. They come out the first Friday of every month. They're really, really great. So he's our March guest. And then, the college did a really fun social media piece. This is our department. So if you go on social media and you kind of, the college has their own, but we did our own, and it's all the people in our department, kind of what we do, but that's us as children. So I just thought it was funny to add. Any questions for me about the foundation, what we're doing, scholarships, any of that? Yes.
Yes, I have a question. So thank you for your very thorough report. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the work that you and your team are doing.
Thank you.
So as we mentioned earlier, 68% of the students do not get financial aid. Do you guys run any reports, or they don't apply for FAFSA? Do you guys do any reports to target those 68% of students to reintroduce the foundation's scholarships available to them? That's one question. And then my second one is, I know you said you went to meet all the feeder high schools. There's a lot of students in the high schools that don't go away to four-year schools, and they just don't come to college. They go work.
Mhm.
And there's a lot that are early school leavers, right? So do you all go and talk to like our GED students while they're in classes to say, hey, besides FAFSA, we also have these scholarships available for you? And they're not, because in my culture, scholarships are only for like A students.
Yeah.
In my culture, honestly. Like if you're smart, then you qualify for a scholarship. So I want all students to know that it's not always based on academic achievement, right? That a lot of them are based on need. Do you guys talk to the GED folks?
We don't specifically from our department like have a meeting with them, but I actually just met with that department this week about starting scholarships specifically for GED students, because they tend not to feel like they could do well at the college, like they don't think they'll be successful. So we're working on creating opportunities for those students. So I imagine that will evolve into that kind of conversation with them. Our scholarship team is really a team of one. So spreading her thin while she still has to be there for the students that are applying is difficult. But I think that's a conversation that's just starting. And as we get more scholarships for that, happy to do that for sure.
Right. Yeah, and it's sad that these students don't think that they'd be successful. We need to change
Yeah.
that culture and that mentality for them to know that you've made it this far. And
Yes.
once they graduate, really embrace them and say, yes, you can succeed at community. You're already succeeding here. What makes you think you can't do it? So I think everybody needs to help with changing that mindset.
Yes, for sure.
Thank
And
you.
like I said, we're starting those conversations with them, so happy to continue them. And they're putting their own money into scholarships to support their students. So it's good. It's easy to help people who are that committed because the buy-in's there.
For sure.
And then you had a question about
The 62% or 68% that don't get. Do we run reports to talk to those folks?
So we end up communicating with all of our students about scholarships. So we use our communication center to send out texts and things like that. So they're targeted in that way. I will tell you, I've pulled some numbers of those. So for scholarship recipients, about 30% do not haven't completed financial aid. But they receive a scholarship.
Right.
The majority of those students are Hispanic Latino students. So I'm guessing it's that's part of the reason why they're maybe not applying.
Can they apply for a scholarship without applying for FAFSA?
Yes.
Oh, maybe they need to know that. Because they might think that if I apply for a scholarship, it's gonna link me to FAFSA, because they're not gonna apply for FAFSA right
Yeah.
now. Maybe they just need to clarify and push that.
Yeah, for sure. We can definitely communicate that to them.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for Amanda? No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.6.6, the Building and Grounds Committee report, trustee Bottomley and trustee Bishop.
Building and Grounds Committee did technically have a meeting today. I am questioning if I know how to read a calendar because I missed it. So I would like to say thank you to staff for being flexible, and I apologize. We're going to meet next month, so.
Okay. Item 1.6.7, the Board Policy Committee report, trustee Garcia Guillen, trustee Harris, and trustee Bishop.
Yes, so board policy did meet on February 25th. There are four policies presented in the board book today. Board policy 02.02.04, emeritus, is up for review with no changes. The personal approvals and appointments just changes clerical and technical, but no changes to the underlying intent of the policy. For annual position review request process for administration, professional, or non-union employee, there are no substantive changes, and it only really takes effect if a role changes in time. It just allows employees of the college to request that their position be reviewed to reflect as such in their job description. And then internal students on F1 visas is up for review with no changes.
Is that it?
That is.
Perfect. Item 1.6.8, the Finance Committee report, trustee Morales, trustee Bottomley, and trustee Bishop.
Well, once again, there was no finance committee meeting, and maybe our chief financial officer, maybe Ms. Kissel, can you let me know when we might have a finance meeting at some point? Let me know. Thank you. No report.
Item 1.6.9, the President's report, Dr. Klein Nemo. Thank you, Chair. I was going to play with it while you were talking.
Okay. Let's go back and forth randomly. I want to congratulate our men's basketball team. I was glued to my phone for the last thrilling half of the game, and they ended up winning nearly at the last second. So 3 seconds left to go, 3-point shot misses, we get the rebound, and Kareem Parker drives, finishes the game. So we are actually into the national quarterfinals for the first time in years. So congratulations to our athletic leadership, all of our coaches, and I'll have a slide for them in a little bit, but especially Coach Danny Turner. I know he's worked really hard this year to ensure that they could not only get to the national tournament, but now be in the national quarterfinals. I want to thank our students for being here, for Abby, Naomi, Sarah, and others I saw here earlier. I saw Byron here. And of course, Trustee Bishop. It is spring break, of course, yet they're still here. So I appreciate them very much. And I think what our students saw tonight was civil discourse in practice. I've counseled a number of emerging leaders over the years, and some of them are uncomfortable with the tension of our world. Without the tension of our world, we would all still think the world is flat. So this is who we are as higher education professionals, right? We analyze, we debate, and through all of that, good ideas become great ideas become exceptional practices and initiative and strategies. So I want to just commend all of us for the way we've kind of modeled that behavior and civil discourse to our students tonight. All right, a couple of things to note here. These numbers have remained relatively steady over the last few weeks or so. Certainly proud of the head count, relatively flat tuition credit numbers, and of course, as I've referenced time and time again, the increase in dual credit, the result of year-long courses. But as we talk about equity and the impact of some of the things happening at the federal administration on our Hispanic students, on our immigrant students, and students that are part of mixed status households, I'm very encouraged, actually. And this is something that Kelly Roeder-Tonelli shared with a group recently who are very passionate about serving the immigrant population, that our adult education numbers seem to be rising again. It's really been a couple of years now, about a year and a half, that we've seen those numbers decline in response to some of the rhetoric at the federal level. So I'm quite pleased that number is.
Which ones are the adult
raising.
ed numbers?
Yeah, we should probably do a better job of describing those as opposed to using the acronyms.
A, B,
Trustee
B?
Morales, it is.
Oh,
it is.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I know alumni night happened before the last board meeting, but we didn't have any pictures because Amanda and I thought we were going to include pictures on and then none of us did. So I just want to commend our, our foundation for once again. I mean, we've had the most students here, and I got to hear a lot of their stories and just more potential roots and branches stories there. And as Amanda mentioned, I had an audience with Wiley Leadership Academy, really some exceptional students here. And I got a chance to hear each and every one of their stories, and it will come as no surprise to all of you. The message that I shared with all of them is to honor those stories, right? To honor who they are as complete human beings. And they range in age, right? They are traditional, they're non-traditional, which here at JJC means they're traditional, by the way, coming from all walks of life with various responsibilities, but ultimately all of them came to JJC. And the last thing I'll add about the Wiley Leadership Academy is similar to the message that I shared with the college community at the start of this academic year. Every single one of their stories acknowledged someone at the college specifically, whether it's a professor or whether it's a frontline staff person or whether it's Nick in the cafeteria got a shout out. It was stories about all of you. So it was absolutely a moment of pride there. And Chairman, I'd just like to point out my new profile picture here on the left-hand side there.
Oh.
Yes. I just want to acknowledge the flexibility. And Open Gym just continues to be a cool thing. So we do it every other month. And problem is I get a little bit older and we have a steady stream of 18-year-old freshmen who come in, think they want to play the president one-on-one in basketball and now pickleball as well. So yeah, that's going to be my new profile picture. Our trustees have been very busy representing the college across the district, and I might remind just the JJC community that the entire board here serves as volunteers. So they, like our students, have lives and responsibilities outside of this boardroom. Nonetheless, they accept an invitation from time to time to represent the college in various at various events. So this one here, we've got Trustee Garcia, Chairman Budzinski, where did you go? Oh, there you are, in the back. So just a lot of different, Trustee Harris there representing the college, and celebrated at the annual GEDC dinner. I'm gonna hand this over to Trustee Morales, who I'm gonna ask to take a look and just make its way around the dais. We were recognized as part of the Advancing Grundy Initiative as Partners of the Year.
Thank you.
Something we should all
Very nice.
be very proud of. Thank you, Trustee Garcia. So Abby left here, but Trustee Morales and Trustee Bottomley and many of our students from Latinos Unidos, along with Cindy Vasquez Barrios, celebrated the Spanish Community Center. It was a really great night, really fantastic night, a celebration of culture, a celebration of an organization that has not only survived, but really thrived and heeded the call to action of the community during a time when many organizations are not only feeling threatened, but are fighting for their own survival. So Sylvia Acosta, a friend of mine, we serve on various boards. I commend her on her leadership. Dr. Rouse, as many of you know, is the chair of that board. It was a really nice event.
Even the USF president was there.
Yeah, Dr. Hendrickson was there, absolutely. He'll be up in a couple of slides here, Trustee Morales. Okay, so just so you all know, Kainoa does not like, not just other human beings. I don't go so far as to say that, but he's very different than his dad. He's very introverted. He's very shy. If any of you have had conversations with them, you say about 20 words, and how many words does my son say?
We've always had good conversations.
Okay, Chairman,
so I don't
okay,
know.
all right. On average, less than 5, certainly single digits. But listen, he's getting better. He was on the phones at the Easter Seals annual telethon, and Tiana had teed up a whole bunch of names, and the cabinet, thank you for your generosity, cabinet, called in, texted him. So he was working for an entire hour. And I don't know what percentage of this revenue is from me. I would say most of it was due to Kainoa, but together as part of the Joliet Rotary team, Team Namuo raised $1,275 for Easter Seals. So how about a hand for Kainoa there? At 11:59, he goes, "You didn't tell me this would be on live TV." Said, "You're stuck here now, son." I do appreciate that, the board gives me the freedom and flexibility and encourages me to be involved as I am in different organizations like the YMCA, like Habitat for Humanity, like Joliet Rotary, like Easter Seals, like the Alzheimer's Association. It does satisfy something inside of me, a story that I've shared a couple of times with the college community. So I'm really thankful to have found a place that values the way I contribute beyond the walls of JJC. Now, speaking of the walls beyond JJC, while we did not come home with the ultimate prize, we were celebrated as one of 10 finalists for the prestigious Bellwether Award, recognizing our accomplishments, our successes in the 12 by 12 initiative. And for those of you connected to our national organization, you might recognize this individual here. Yeah, that's right.
Carol.
That's Carol Del Carlo. She is the current board chair of ACCT. Set aside some time to come and take a picture with us
That was nice.
all the way out in San Antonio.
Who won it?
All right, Trustee Morales. Now you're going to bring up some hurt feelings. No, we're
okay.
very proud of all the winners. They had some really exceptional initiatives. And actually, we have connections to 2 of the winners. I don't know the third winner, but Merced College in California had a very innovative agricultural program where they essentially started a farm to grow organic products and then sell those products. So that was a cool thing. The winner of our category, however, so that was the workforce development category. The winner of our category was from SUNY Orange. Yeah, SUNY Orange. And the majority of them were from Illinois and had worked in the Illinois community college system. So we were very happy for them. It was an honor to be nominated.
Well, I think you should have won.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Trustee Morales. Thank you for reading my mind there.
Yeah, especially if they're all from Illinois. They're probably alums, so.
Yeah. So while I thank the cabinet for their generosity, the next group I'm going to lean on for your generosity and participation is the Alzheimer's Association. Walk to End Alzheimer's in October. I was able to travel to the Community Leaders Summit where I filled, the room was filled with 2,000 individuals who are passionate about brain health, Alzheimer's, and dementia, and all related conditions. So our employee spotlight this month is our athletics department. They make that amazing complex run, the event center. We have a number of sports. Each one of them requires tremendous effort. I doubt that Greg Brown has worked just 40 hours in the last 10 years because he's everywhere all the time. If he wasn't in Texas right now with his team, he would be out in New York with the men's basketball team. He follows all of our teams to their national tournaments, and he doesn't do it alone, of course. Dean Angie Kaysen-Lesbitek, of course, leads our athletic area from a dean level, and we've got a number of assistant coaches and support professionals who ensure that our student athletes are students first. So our celebration of success was it was really an incredible event yesterday. And maybe you'll hear a little bit more about this from Trustee Harris and Trustee Morales during trustee updates. I think this is a long time coming. I'm very thankful for Dr. Hendrickson's leadership. He and I connected the day after he was announced, and he has embraced the challenge I lofted to both him and USF to value and honor the partnership with JJC, something that, quite frankly, had not been maximized for quite some years. And as a result, I think we will end up seeing more students transferring to the University of St. Francis and able to take advantage of tuition discounts, dedicated advisors. So really pleased and just want to send a huge gratitude to Dr. Hendrickson there. Chairman, I've got one mini report as part of and this is a last minute change, and you'll probably notice that at the beginning of my report, typically I have items before the board. I've saved that till the end, and I'm going to put Karen Kissel and Kelly Roeder-Tonelli on deck, and you're welcome to make your way up to the podium as I tackle slide 1 here. So we've talked about the course fees a little bit. I'm going to make my way from top to bottom. The board will consider the Grundy County Expansion Architecture and Engineering Services, as well as the referendum project services today. So I've invited Karen Kissel and Kelly Roeder-Tonelli to help me present a few slides. We've got just 3 slides, Board of Trustees. Some of them might look familiar, but I wanted to give you some additional information as you consider that projects will emerge from this master planning process that we've been engaged in, chaired by Josh West and Pat Van Dyne, who are here with us today, facilitated by Leggett Architects, who've done really an exceptional job managing the process and honoring all the different voices at the college. And you'll recall, trustees, that Leggett had an audience with all of you for a little while. They've had an audience with the foundation, our faculty, our staff, and students, and some external stakeholders as well. And as I've reminded the college community at the start of this semester, and again at the state of the college, the building we're sitting in was not here. It's the result of the previous administration's commitment to modernize and construct structures to serve students far into the future. Well, here we are again, right? 18 years later, as an administration and as a board, going through that process once again. That will beg, inevitably, some really difficult questions. As the board and the administration grappled with the same questions 15 to 18 years ago, how do we make all of this magic happen? How do we make the vision a reality, right? How do we turn these designs into actual buildings that our students will occupy far into the future? So as a reminder to the board and the college community, These are the projects that emerged: the automotive building, the science building expansion, the U building or health professions center, a $45 million project, the city center, the event center, and of course, the Romeoville campus, to name a few, right? So I've invited Karen and Kelly here to take us through, the referendum item on the board agenda today. Karen?
Thanks, President Namuo. So as President Namuo shared, the referendum cycle ends in 2028. What does that mean? That means at the end of 2028, approximately $90 million in bonds will be paid in full. So we have between now and 2028 to prepare, and I think that timing is very significant for us. It gives us the opportunity to be thoughtful rather than reactive. And we're in a position where we don't need to rush. Instead, we have a defined window where we can evaluate institutional needs, where we can assess financial capacity, where we can determine whether a future referendum is something we want to do. This timeframe allows us to be deliberate and carefully execute a plan. And during that time period, we have 3 potential election cycles that we can be a part of: April 2027, March 2028, and November 2028. And having multiple cycles provides flexibility. It allows us to evaluate timing, to understand community readiness for a referendum, and align potential decisions with institutional priorities and fiscal capacity. As President Namuo said, we've been going through a master planning process. And out of that master planning process, 500 facility recommendations emerged. We've narrowed those down into 22 strategic priorities, and they reflect instructional renewal, program growth, facility modernizations, and long-term sustainability. The question before us is not whether the need exists, it's how are we gonna fund it responsibly and when are we gonna fund it? So strategic timing matters. It gives us the advantage of preparation. It allows us to fully understand the effect of the current referendum expiring in 2028, to evaluate our current debt capacity. As you recall, we financed these projects in 3 ways. One was two issuances of bonds, one that expires in 2032, one that expires in 2038, and this referendum that expires in 2028. And Kelly's going to walk you through how the community will be engaged through this process.
Thank you, Karen. I'll keep it high level, but can certainly answer any questions should you need clarification. So as you can see on the screen, we're recommending, or the firm rather is recommending, an 18-month engagement process. So what does that include, right? And I'm going to hit on kind of the top 3 things as part of the methodology that I think are important for you to know. And so the first thing on the screen, it's stakeholder committee, but I think we can say community committee as interchangeable terms for what this group is. This is a dedicated group of individuals who will provide direct input across the entire process. Okay, that group would be made up of faculty, staff, students, parents, specifically taxpayers who are not already tied to the college. Again, that's a really critical piece of this. Business leaders, community leaders, and of course members of our administration. Whenever we want to go and engage with the community, educate, learn information, we want to engage in both quantitative and qualitative opportunities. And so you'll see there the community input parts or phases of this process are really kind of public town hall style events. They're meant to be in person, they're meant to be virtual, and they are meant to be out in the community. We don't want people just to come here for sessions. We want to go out into all far corners of our 7-county district and gather those opinions. The other thing I want to note is, there's opportunity for non-English speaking sessions as well, so we can make sure that it's a comprehensive collection of information. And then the quantitative piece, survey research. There's capabilities for phone surveys, email surveys, text surveys. Again, the thing about this process is we were able to customize it in terms of what we believe our needs are, as well as align with the budget that we've had set aside for this. I think one of the biggest things to remember about this particular phase is that we're first collecting info, we're educating our public, and then from that, we're starting to understand with our partners what public sentiment is and able to build models of public opinion, which will then drive our decisions for making sure that we're reflecting community input, making sure that we're engaging in transparent planning, and ensuring that we always, number one, are engaging in responsible stewardship.
Sort of like the data center?
I'm not supposed to say this as a spokesperson, no comment.
Kelly, thank you for that. And I know we'll have some time connected to both action items, but we're happy to, the administration's happy to take questions.
Kelly, we did that when I was on the Hellenic School Board. We had an outreach group, and we had it where we put in the paper where we were looking for people to come in and help us with some decision-making, and they had to give us their qualifications, a little bit of background, and then the board decided who they wanted to see on there so that we had an equilibrium of people that were well-based in the community. So it did work, and they gave us really good input. And it was none of the people that had ever run for a board. It was people that were invested in the community and what we could do with the community to better the school district.
Yeah.
So it works.
It sounds very similar, yep.
Yeah.
I have two questions. Mine are both financial. What fund are we using to pay for this? And then was this budgeted for this fiscal year, or is this an additional moving around of funds in order to pay for this?
We have capacity as part of our strategic initiatives to invest in this if we should so choose.
Perfect, thank you.
Chairman, thank you. Happy Quasquecentennial.
Are you finished?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Get to the good part. Item 1.7, at this time, the item in front of us is a chair's request for a closed session for discussion under 2C5.
So move.
Second. And a vote, please.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.8, return to public session. I need a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.9.1, the approval of minutes for the regular meeting held on February 18th, 2026.
Second.
Question? Discussion? Can I say something?
Yes.
We did not have anything for the report from the National Legislative Summit, and Elaine gave us a great report, and it wasn't even on this agenda that it should have been, because that's part of the requirement when we spend so much money to travel. So I think somehow we should be adding her report to those minutes, because there should be something that shows that she did give a report. It's letter format, but there should be something that shows what she did, because money has been spent, you know? So I'm gonna say that.
So in reviewing policy, the policy does not dictate that, and that's why it wasn't forced into the notes that way. We don't have any policy that says when somebody goes to an event, they have to actually even give a report. We've been doing it, and that's fine, and we can continue to do it. But as far as enforcing a policy that doesn't exist, that's why it's not in there and why we're not enforcing it that way.
If you're spending all of that money and you have no way of putting it anywhere on the agenda, it would be transparent for us to have it on there, whether there's a policy or not, so that people don't come and say, I want a FOIA, and find out how much she spent, how much she spent, how much everybody spent to go to it, because it does cost. you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's information on what the event was by the different organizations who sponsor them. But that's why it's not in the minutes, because it wasn't required to put in there.
Even though I had suggested it. Okay. Good report.
It was a good report.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was.
I write memos for a living.
Any other comments or questions on the notes? We're ready to vote, please.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.10, the approval of tonight's agenda.
Second.
Question. Since we got the board book on Friday, or no, we got it on Saturday, so you sent it to us on Friday. How
No,
are we
you got it
supposed-
on Friday.
Pardon me?
You got it on Friday. I sent it
Was it
out
Friday?
Thursday.
Okay, well, I'm trying to think when it was working. How are we to come back and say we want something on the agenda if we've already got the board book and the agenda? Where's the time frame that you said we could do that?
You can request agenda items at any time. It doesn't have to fall in between when the board book gets sent and when the meeting takes place.
Okay.
Anything else? We're ready to vote, please?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no.
No.
Motion carries.
Item 1.11, the approval of consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Items to pull,
Items to poll?
2.1. And all listed under 2.1. 3.1. 3.26. 3.28. 3.29.
And you said all items under 3 or 2.1?
Well, you've got 2.11, 2.12, 2.13. That was where my question that was on my request for information that I put on there didn't get answered, so I'm asking for it.
Okay, all right then.
Can
We'll
I
take
pull 3.6?
3.6? Any other items be pulled?
That's not part
That's
of
not part
it.
of
That's
it.
not part
That's
of
on the
it.
consent.
3.6.
So we can vote on the original motion.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Bishop.
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
First pulled item is 2.1, administrative professional recommending a sabbatical leave for one faculty member. I need a
So
motion.
moved.
Second?
You can probably lump them all together though.
I think we need to do one at a time.
Yeah, I would believe so, since you pulled them
Different.
all individually, so I think we have to do them one at a time.
Is that correct?
I just made sure it was inclusive.
It's the safest way.
Who made the motion?
Garcia?
Garth.
Okay, thank you. And Elaine seconded?
Correct.
Thank you. So
And
we're
the
on
discussion.
211.
Yeah, my question that I had, that I asked in my information, under that, it says, what is the cost for the sabbatical leave and what's the cost associated with the substitute cost in filling those positions?
At this time, I'm going to turn that question over to Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray, please.
Thank you. So for the professors that are doing the sabbatical, they get paid their same amount, which, they're all different depending on where they are in the salary scale. That they would be paid their base pay, not their overload, but their base.
But we're putting additional expense for the people that are coming in to do their job situation, correct?
Yes, especially in one of the cases, there weren't extra courses. Now, let me put it a different way. With Patrick Stevens, we actually have a shortage of classes right now. So our adjuncts in that area in math don't often get the classes they would like to teach. So it will be a cost. But on the other hand, it's going to help the adjuncts be able to participate and teach in some classes.
And
But
and I'm looking at the fact that we raised tuition on the kids, and I know some of the kids have talked to me, and I'm concerned, where are we gonna do cuts? When I see this means we're having an extra expense, that we're giving the sabbatical leave, which I understand that, and then we're also bringing in somebody else to replace them during the sabbatical leave.
Yeah, and this is a contractual opportunity that faculty have in the full-time faculty contract, which all three of these are full-time faculty. that they can apply for up to 2 semesters of sabbatical. But yes, there is a cost.
And it's built into the budget then for this? Or what is it?
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other conversations or discussions on 2.1.1?
I just had a question for Trustee Broderick. Can you remind me when you send that email and the subject line of that email?
The subject line of what email?
The email that you mentioned indicating the questions regarding 2.1, specifically administration and professionals.
You want me to read what I said?
No.
What the email
When
was?
did you send it?
It was
And the
March
subject
9th.
line.
March 9th, I sent it.
Subject line?
It said all trustees,
No,
what is it?
like the actual
Delivered board
subject
request
line.
for information for the 3/11/26 meeting.
And you
It was
send it
addressed
to
to
all
you
of
and
us?
Jim,
Okay.
according to your policy of 01.36.00.
Yeah, I know the policies.
And I
Thank
never
you.
heard from either of you, and I haven't seen anything from it. And the
Okay.
48 hours has elapsed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
We're ready to vote on 2.1.1.
So move.
No, it's already been.
Oh,
We just
never
need to
mind.
vote.
Vote.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2.1.2, recommending sabbatical leave for 1 faculty member.
So move.
Second.
Same discussion or ready to vote?
No, I'm fine with what she said for
We're
all
ready
three.
to vote then?
We are.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2.1.3, recommending sabbatical leave for 1 faculty member.
So move.
Second.
We're ready to vote?
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.1, the approval for the pay the listing of bills for the period ending February 28th, 2026 as presented.
So move.
Second.
And discussion.
My question comes in the email that I did send more than 48 hours ago, was regarding one, there's 3 accounts payable to Farrelly for $76,000. What does that cover? What months? Is it for same service?
It's for the project management services and the technical resources. It's the months of December, January, and February.
Okay, so why did we hold off so long?
I'm not saying we held off so long. It was just timing with when their bills came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm looking at the other one with regards to Lisa Villabos. I see that she was at 5,010. What do we need to do with her in regards to HR? What was the need?
Hi, we have an existing contract for her services for the fiscal year, and we're still underneath the amount of that contract. This was preparation for performance appraisals and some testing with goal setting and some other things that
Do you think you'll ever not need her at all?
she's an incredible resource for our team. And again, I've tried to explain sort of the complexity of Workday. So we've cut back on her contract and the reliance on her, but she's still very valuable to our HRIS and our team.
Okay, thank you. And then my only other ones was, I had all these other questions on these under 5,000 that didn't get answered. Will I get those answered? That were in the March 9th?
I'll have to look at the March 9th email.
March 9th, and then I did ask, I'm gonna ask about airfare too, because I see we're supposed to all be doing the lowest airfare. And I've been looking at airfare of one of our employees, and it is over the amount of the normal airfare. I think we need to look at that policy.
Again, airfare is at the time you make the reservation. It's a number that's moving constantly. To say it's higher or lower at any other point in time other than when the ticket was ordered is very difficult.
Well, if you look at the ticket that is there, and you can see what the choice was taken, and it's steps above what we are taking. So yes, you can see it on the ticket, so it is definitely higher. I'm gonna say that. Then I'm gonna ask too, in regards to, and I think I provided it to you, all the fees for sponsorships that were out. And all of the people that went, it seems to be Alicia and her spouse, Jim, you and your spouse, Nancy and your spouse, you've gone it down to 2, you're 10, you're 9. I'm not counting them because they don't have the spouses, but there's no reimbursement at all. And I don't get it. We had to reimburse, I've always had to reimburse. Why is there no reimbursement for the spouses? Because we're looking at every nickel and dime because we did it to the tuition increase. Why aren't we looking at that? I mean, you're looking at a couple $1,000 of what the tickets were.
The policy is that the invitee list is at the discretion of the president. Do we have a policy that says trustees pay that back? I mean, you keep bringing up everything in the past. We don't know what's in the past because even that, it keeps changing each time this comes up. Well, in the past, well, in the past, well, in the past. Well, in the present, the policy says Dr. Numo, at his discretion, will invite stakeholders, trustees,
Bless you.
college employees.
But the spouse is not a trustee and not an employee.
It's not your turn, correct? You're still talking.
No, it's fine.
And then we have other people.
Who else would like to speak on this?
I would. I'm just trying to understand what your point is. Because again, there's no policy, the chair already mentioned. And you keep focusing on the same thing over and over again, even though it has already been addressed. So not entirely sure. The overall idea is that the people that are invited are people who are in good standing, and they're representing the organization, in this case, JJC, to the best of our ability. So yeah, not really understanding your question, thought process, any of that, and it also doesn't matter at this point. And I'll stop.
Any other? Then we'll go to rebuttal time.
Okay. Give my time for rebuttal.
Yes.
The thing is, Nancy, we always had Trustee
Quick
Garcia.
reminder.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
okay, sorry, Trustee Garcia. We always had to, and financial person would tell the president, you need to bring a check in. This is what it cost you for your husband to go to this. I wrote checks. There was a policy in place. I don't know what happened to that policy, but the spouse is not an employee and not a trustee. So now the spouse is taking the presence of a trustee that could be going. And just as a matter of fact, I haven't been to any of the events for like 2.5 years now, to any of the events. So when I see all these pictures of how great we have a great team up there, it amazes me because, yeah, I got 2 more censures on me just so you guys can keep me from not going. But it's almost like a gratuity for you guys rubber stamping. And I'm just going to say it, a gratuity for you rubber stamping everything that's brought before you. And that's where I ended at.
Any other comments or rebuttals?
I can assure you we don't rubber stamp. I don't nobody does. I think we all give very thoughtful care to reviewing the agenda. We ask questions. A lot of times we ask questions before we get here, so we're not grandstanding to the public. Okay, but no, we don't rubber stamp.
But the policy-
Nothing is rubber stamped at all.
But the policy that's in place.
This is not a cross conversation,
Yeah.
just a reminder.
Yes, I yield my time, thank you.
Okay. We're ready to vote on 3.1.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.2.6, Grundy County Expansion Architectural and Engineering Services.
So moved.
Second.
My page. I guess my concern comes in as to where are we going with this? We keep spending and spending. I haven't seen any reports, any expense reports, anything to tell us what our 5-year performa would be. And that's what I wrote in my email to you also on March 9th, which said, and I'll be very specific since it doesn't seem like anybody read it. There has been a start reviewing the expenses and which expenses can be cut from the budget. That's a concern I have. And I said, under the 3.26 Grundy County Expansion please provide the data to show the 5-year operating pro forma for this project, for the ongoing operational costs as well as the need of feasibility for it. If these reports can't be provided, I ask that we then table it until the next meeting. Because you just guys are rushing into spending money. These kids are getting pushed with a tuition increase, and I don't see any budget cuts. I just see keep spending. It's overspending. And I don't see why we have the need to do it yet. You guys gotta put stuff that, when we had a campus in New Lenox, we had to have all this data before. And if we didn't have these reports to show the enrollment need, the need for everything that I gave you, all those 13 reports, financial pro forma, where's the money coming from? The budget doesn't show that we can support it. Where is it coming? It's gonna be a tuition increase again. And I'm there sticking up for the students.
Any other discussion comments?
Chairman. Chairman and Trustee Broderick, thank you for your comment and question. I want to share a couple of things with the board. First, as a reminder, Dr. Farmer most recently was before the board presenting some very detailed information on our Grundy expansion on October 15th, 2025. Since then, the board has received different pieces of information and different reports, further justifying our expansion has been provided with, a list of evidence supporting our vision to expand out west. Additionally, just this past week, we held, on the heels of last month's board meeting, we held a college-wide FY27 State of the Budget address, which is the first of its kind since I've been here. I understand the college community has done it before. It was attended live by 176 people, and many, many more will watch that address online, the recording rather. And in it, we laid out essentially the state of the budget and how it will be a more constrained budget. And we certainly commit to working with the Finance Committee through this process. And Trustee Morales, we accept that challenge to call a finance meeting to do that. But trustees know that we just kicked off officially the budget development cycle last week. Now, in regards to Morris operational budgets, one thing we shared with the college community in that address is operational budgets for the Morris campus will not impact either FY27's budget or FY28's budget. Operational budget, if we are to occupy the Morris campus fall of 2028, will not need to be finalized until we finalize the FY29 budget. So I just want to be clear so the college community understands the timing of it all. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this item?
I have a quick question. Just wanted to verify and point out that what we're talking about is a contract that is 3 years or completion of the project. I know that we have a contract amount in front of us, but from my understanding, the contract amount hasn't been fully finalized, so it could potentially be lower than that amount. So knowing and recognizing that this is an amount that's going to span multiple fiscal years, again, I'm going to ask the question that I asked earlier for a different item.
Yep.
Do we have budgeted space for this fiscal year to cover costs? And is this going to be a consideration for our next upcoming fiscal year as we start going through the budgeting process?
Great question. I'm going to tee up Karen Kissel or
Sure, we can absorb the cost this fiscal year and next fiscal year. We've factored this into the development of the entire campus.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? And then rebuttal.
This is coming from the Operations and Maintenance Fund restricted, right? I thought we didn't want to try to dip into those funds if they're restricted. Is this something that we can do? Yes, okay, thank you.
Now rebuttal.
Okay, is that what will pay the teacher's salary and the expenses to run it? For when it opens, because I'm hearing 28 is when it's going to open.
We're in the process of developing that budget right now, but that will come out of our operating budget. It will not be funded with any reserve funds.
Okay, because I was asking this, if we have to look at the budget, I'm asking that we do an RFP to obtain a company that will come in and analyze expenses to identify budget cuts for sustainability, for operational expenses, efficiency. The concern arises because the kids got their tuition increase, and yet we haven't disclosed campus expenses. I'm concerned about that because the kids came up when I was at something and said something to me that they were upset with the fact that they don't want to see the Morris campus. They don't think it's needed. And with all the space that we have from the surveys that you both have done, you've got space in here and space in Romeoville. Why do we need to open up a $25 million campus?
Where were you when these kids came up to you?
Pardon me?
Where were you when these kids came up to you?
In the school.
Which school?
This one?
This one?
Yeah.
Did you talk to any of the kids that live in Morris that drive here?
No, I didn't go down there.
Okay, so your example set is very, very small.
My example is a good example, Jim. Please do not put it down. I gave you an example like Alicia did. The kids talked, and I'm letting you know.
Any other discussion?
I haven't given any example of any kids at this meeting.
Okay.
Just for clarification.
Karen, we are ready to vote on 3.2.6.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
On an administrative note, Trustee Morales, did you say pull 3.21?
No.
It's not included.
But it's not part of the.
Okay, and so then the next one I have is 3.28, and then there was one after that.
329.
Okay, 29, okay, so that's it. All right. Okay. Item 3.28, Elucian on-premise renewal.
So move.
Okay. And discussion.
My question comes in when I was looking in regards to a Lucian renewal. What are the total costs that we have so far for this ERP system? I think monthly we should be getting some type of report that gives us an update. Because I know that Lucian should be able to give us where we're at, because I'm still thinking of 2019 where we approved it, and now we're 2026. Can we get some type of report of where the cost is at? Because it just seems like we keep increasing and approving things. Is that possible to do that?
Chairman, I'll take this one. Chairman, Trustee Broderick, thank you so much for the question. I want to answer that question a couple of ways. I think when we started the ERP restart and then launched the optimization and modernization, we committed to coming back to the board. I believe it was quarterly. I think we're due for an update there. The last time we were in front of the board, yeah. So we can certainly do that. This is a smaller component of the larger project, as you'll see, when you look at the dollar amount and some compared to some of the dollar amounts that we've presented to this board. But we take your point, and we'll plan that next sort of comprehensive, because the last time we did it was in the winter of 2025. So we'll come back. It's time for that.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussions on 3.2.8? Karen, we are ready to vote?
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.2.9, the referendum project services.
So move.
Second.
Here's my question. I looked up EO services. They're Sullivan Consulting in Libertyville. They're basically a lobbying company. I'm trying to understand what's the need to use them instead of using a different type of service. I mean, I don't understand it. The gentleman that started this, Ed, he was nothing but legislative. What do we need him for if we have a lobbying group? Because it seems like he stresses influence, persuasion, issue advocacy, all through lobbying. And I read through this whole thing on him, so why do we need him and his company?
Chairman, Trustee Budzinski, Trustee Broderick. Great question. So I'm going to tee up. Actually both Kelly and Karen Kissel for this one. It's a great question. I think, if you take a look at the write-up, I mean, that's a question that naturally emerges. They've got a great explanation of how this work is typically structured, because your antenna are up right now. and rightfully so, there's another component to this as well. Before I toss it to either Karen or Kelly or both, the E.O. Sullivan's currently working with 2 other community colleges in the state of Illinois who are going through or a few months ahead of what we are exploring to do. I'm reluctant to offer the specific names, although at some point I probably can because it's public knowledge and their engagements are public, but I'm going to toss it to Karen and Kelly. If they feel comfortable referencing those colleges, please do.
Sure, I can reference the colleges.
Yeah.
The first one is Harper College, and they ran a very similar campaign to what we're exploring doing that resulted in a successful $180 million referendum in 2018. And the other community college is Moraine Valley, that they're in the process of conducting that community engagement process that Kelly Roder-Tonelli was talking about. And so they should be considering a referendum in November of 2026. So those are the 2 community colleges that they've most recently worked with. E.O. Sullivan, you're right, he was a legislator, and this
For
is what
15
he
years, yeah.
and Core Strategies, they've partnered together. So it's 2 companies, they've partnered together. E.O. Sullivan and the firm is the firm that's going to do the data-driven research, that's going to help talk to the community, that's going to help gather facts to understand what the appetite could potentially be for our district to even absorb a referendum if there's one at all. And then Core Strategies would take it from there and do, if we decided as an organization to move forward, to do a Vote Yes campaign that would help encourage participation in the community to vote yes on the projects that we're proposing be part of the referendum.
So is that tied to the group that you're trying to get together then as the Citizens Outreach Group?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, they would lead that process, and if I may, I'd just like to add that, when you look at the biographies of the individuals that are listed here, I think the thing to kind of lean into is that, yes, Ed was a legislator, but that also gives him some really, keen knowledge on the state of Illinois, voting patterns, and so I think that's just a unique set of strengths that he brings to the table. I would also ask you to think about, kind of the differences between our lobbying firm and what we're doing here. When we're working with our lobbyists, we're advocating for very specific projects that are outside of the scope of our district at state and federal levels. What we're asking this firm to do is give us a guided blueprint that we can customize as we need to, that will allow us to build those models of opinion and perception and sentiment that I talked about earlier. And that is not something that our lobbying firm does.
Yeah, because I can't see it in the description that's on his website at all. I can't see anything that shows capital improvements or any of this. I can't see any of that. So that's why I was asking, because when I'm looking at this, maybe we should use him as a lobbyist then too. Because if he's got all that strength and his ties to it, I'm just saying from what I can see as a trustee.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And as we do with our lobbyists with many projects, we would keep them informed in the loop as we move forward.
So it's going to be with another group too that he feeds into then, E.O. Sullivan? You said another group, Core, whatever it is?
I was referencing your question about the difference or possible redundancies between our lobbying firm and this firm.
Okay, I got
Yep.
you. I didn't understand that. Thank you.
Any other discussion on 3.2.9? We are ready to vote, please.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Abstain.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.6, Board of Trustee approval of courses fees, effective fall of 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Yes.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I asked for this item to be pulled just because, this is still a touchy subject for me. Putting more on the students. I understand that, the Pell Grant and the state MAP grant amounts have increased, and we do get a lot of support from the state of Illinois. We have a governor that is willing to put education as a priority. I'm just concerned with putting more fees. I think the administration's doing a wonderful job. I applaud Dr. Namul for everything that he's done. I just saw a ton of awards on his desk right now in his office, and those were never here at this college before. So, but again, it's just very hard for me to put more on students when I want to see more accountability. And today, Dr. Namul provided, I think, everybody with this report, the strategic enrollment management, because I'm asking a lot of detailed questions about what we're doing to increase enrollment. I think we all have it, right?
No.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't get
Okay.
it.
Okay. Oh, well, I got it. So I'm looking through it just to make sure that I can ask, because this is answering my questions. The questions that I asked, this is my response, okay? That's why. So I will be looking at this because, again, if we have enrollment and enrollment is not working, I know we gave a percentage, but those percentages are funny. So I'd like to see maybe a number. What number do we look to anticipate for recruitment? Because if these numbers aren't working, how do we know which staff members need more resources or support so that they are more impactful and successful in their jobs? You know, is our enrollment team being impactful? And I don't know if maybe there's, 5 counselors, but if one of them isn't meeting enrollment goals, their goals that they have specifically, then maybe they need more support. You know, I can only speak from, I did this job in the past, and I know we had specific goals and numbers that we each individually had to meet. And collectively, you know, we saw where we had a weakness and give that person more support if it's necessary. So that's why I asked for this item to be pulled, just so that I could share that sentiment, that because this is very dear to me. I know what goes into enrollment, and it's very complex, but there's so many opportunities, though, to be very creative. And I am going to be looking at this thoroughly, because it's like 60 some odd pages I have to look through, because maybe a lot of it is going to answer a lot of my questions that I have. But I'm hoping to find answers in this SEM report. Thank you.
That will be provided to the whole board.
Thank you. I know this was in response to my question, so thank you.
Any other discussion questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you all remind me, because this is an item that we had in the agenda last month, and we moved it, we decided not to vote on it last month, and that's why we have it on the agenda for this month. What is the consequence, if we want to say it that way, of not voting on it on this particular month, if any?
There would be a consequence because registration opens at the end of the
Correct.
month. And when the student goes to register, that's where that course fee is listed. So if we
Right.
don't have a decision on it, we won't have the accurate dollar amount on the registration.
So they wouldn't be able to plan ahead because they are not going to have that number right up front.
Correct.
Okay.
I thought they could register now
This is for the next semester.
for the fall. Oh,
For the fall.
Fall.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Karen, we're ready to vote, please.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Pass.
Trustee Morales?
I'm going to abstain.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Motion carries.
Item 4, new business, old business, 4.1, first reading of board policies. 4.1.1, personal approvals and appointments, or personnel approvals and appointments.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Trustee Bishop, and then I can go ahead and add anything else, just to highlight some of those key items in those first readings.
For policy, for the personnel approvals and appointments, we just changed the word clerical and technical. There is no substantive change to the policy itself.
Then the second one?
The 4.1.2, annual position review request process for administrator, professional or non-union employee.
For that one specifically, it just allows employees of the college, if a role changes in time, to request a review of that role so that their role is accurately reflected in their job description.
And also connected to that role is compensation, as well as Trustee Bishop already mentioned classification and titles, but as well as compensation and anything else that might be added. And this is our request. So there's a particular process for staff members to be able to request this if there has been a change in their responsibility due to many different changes, but it's an official request. Okay, and that's it.
Next item is 4.4, approval of the access easement maintenance agreement related to Rivera Way and Rock Run residents.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion, or are we ready to vote? Karen, we're ready to vote?
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia-Gia?
Yes.
Trustee Bradwick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 5, reports. 5.1, the representative to the ICCTA, ACCT. Trustee Harris, please.
Currently, I have no report. I did report last month, but the ACCT will be meeting this year in October. So hopefully, we'll be able to go. And I'll have,
in Chicago this time.
yes, we'll be in Chicago at the Hyatt Regency. And I would encourage all the trustees to, they probably have received one of the ACCT magazines to read it, to find out what you want to do when you get there. Again, it is in Chicago, and we're looking for a great turnout. If anyone has a question about my report from last month, I do believe that is on record. Our Secretary Karen has that.
I do have one. Mention about the awards, the deadline for the awards.
Okay, I thank you for that. I thought I did do that, but that was in an email. Yeah, our awards for the ICCT banquet, I believe the deadline. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me.
27th?
I should have.
March
27th. Yeah,
27th.
March 27th. And so if you have someone you want to nominate from your department, please do so. All that information should be found in that email that I sent.
Thank
So,
you.
all right. And I yield back.
Item 5.2, trustee updates. I'm going to start on this side over here. Trustee Morales.
Oh, I think you started here last time too, but okay.
No, I started with trustee Broderick at the last meeting.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to thank everybody and for being here and all the work that you do, and also I'm hoping everybody enjoys their spring break. I do want to just close today with saying that I have lived in Joliet my entire life since my father emigrated here to work on the EJ&E Railroad, and my kids have grown up in Joliet, and now my grandkids. And I know college administration will change over from time to time. That is a natural cycle of leadership in higher education. But with communities that support these institutions, our community college, communities do not change nearly as quickly. Many of us here will remain connected to this college for many decades. And our responsibility as trustees is to think beyond any single administration and consider the long-term impact of our decisions and our votes. When tuition rises, these effects are felt by local families and students long after administration transitions have occurred. My vote for abstain is not necessarily a no to the fee increase. It's a not now. I know that fees are going up, costs are going up. I think after we get a new federal administration, maybe I would vote yes. But until there's too many uncertainties right now, that's why I wish there was a not yet vote. So I just abstained. But my vote reflects a belief that protecting affordability must remain at central priority, this college must still be accessible, not just today, but for years from now, when today's leaders have moved on and new students from our community are looking for opportunity here at JJC. Thank you.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes, thank you. And thank you again, Trustee Morales, for getting us started. I just want to say thank you for still being here. We're going to be ending a lot earlier than normal, so thank you all for being here. I also want to acknowledge and hope that our students have a wonderful break, that they're able to rest, take care of themselves, spend time with loved ones, whatever works for them, and that they're ready to come back and finish the last 8 weeks for their particular classes. In today's agenda, we talked about a few proclamations, including Earth Month, Community College Month, and the National Arab American Heritage Month. All of them is a way for us to continue to reinforce our continuing commitment to sustainability, celebrating the importance of and acknowledging the contributions of community college across the state of Illinois, but also throughout the United States. And the last one, the National Arab American Heritage Month, again, is a celebration of different cultures, different community members, our students, and just acknowledging the contributions and the importance of their presence within our community. The other item that I want to mention, and thank you for the JJC Foundation report that reminded us and continues to work together with our administration to make sure that we're closing the gap. Whenever we have students that are not able to, they don't want to because of a lot of things happening at the federal level, and they don't want to apply for that financial assistance for FAFSA, scholarships, and contributions from private donors allow our students to have one less stress about paying for college. And that could be through a scholarship, it could be through the emergency funds, a lot of things that we're able to offer for students that gap still exists. The last thing one more thing that I want to mention is in the last 2 months, I have been able to be in other community events as part of JJC, and it has been a wonderful opportunity to network with other leaders out in the community and to see that JJC has a really important role in the community thanks to relationship building and all of the work that we have done. And I am just proud to be part of the trustees and continue to do this wonderful work. My last 12 seconds. Reminder, Election Day is next week on Tuesday. March 17, early voting is still available, so make sure that you have a plan to vote. And also remind friends and loved ones, if you're not able to vote yet, you can go ahead and still volunteer and remind your loved ones. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Bottomley.
Trustee Garcia again stole part of what I was
Yeah.
going to say about Election Day, which I'm sure I wasn't going to be
You
the
can
only
reinforce
person.
it. I have
I
12
will
seconds.
reinforce it. Early voting is open. Election Day is Tuesday, March 17th. Make sure you make a plan to vote. I know I have my plan to vote, which is running to my polling place and then going for a run afterwards and trying not to like doom spiral about election outcomes, which is totally normal. I do want to really reiterate something that Dr. Nemuel stated about civil discourse. And I am appreciative for so many different reasons to serve on this board and serve on behalf of this institution. It is an honor to sit here. It is an honor to serve with each and every single one of you and learn from you. I do not 100% agree with any of you all, and that's fine. I hear you all, I support you all, and I appreciate that we're able to have tough conversations and be respectful even when things get heated. It's important because we are models for the students that attend here. We're models for our community, so thank you. I'm really glad I was able to attend the Political Etiquette Summit. I only showed up for the ending bit of it just because I was busy with work, but it was super cool. It's great to see that our student body's interested in what political etiquette is, what it looks like, and really how we should be communicating with each other moving forward. And my last thing is I'm going to say I'm really excited that I do have tickets for Wandering Feast. Looking forward to going and attending. And for the record, my husband is attending, and I paid for his ticket with my own credit card.
You're good. You're good.
Trustee Broderick.
Okay. This is going to sound a little unusual to you that I'm going to read what we do as trustees because I feel right now very frustrated in this position because I win a new election. I had 26,000 people that voted for me, but I have 5 people on this board that still restrict me from being able to be active and going to any community activities or to any ICCTA or ACCT activities. It's just very frustrating to see that I don't even get emails. So as a trustee of JJC, we are elected to 7 counties of our constituents in our district. With that being said, we are under Illinois law to be the governing board of this college, and we have the responsibility for the operation, policy, and oversight of the college. Our job, which we receive no salary for, is to act as a policy-making board, fiscal oversight authority, public governing body, and the employer of the president. Our core duties are policy and governance. We must establish policy, set institutional goals and mission, ensure total compliance with state and federal law, provide long-term planning for the college, represent the public interest. Hiring a president is part of what we do too. Responsible for financial oversight and fiduciary responsibilities by protecting the public funds, which has us approving the annual budget, monitoring expenditures, approving contracts and large purchases, ensuring audits are complete, safeguarding the district assets. The reason I state that is because I do ask a lot of questions. I go through everything every month when we're looking at it, and I have 2 emails from last month and this month that I'll go into that I think should be answered. We must always act in the best interest of the college and stay in compliance of the law. We represent the community by listening to our constituents, which includes our students. And here's what the students said at that symposium that I was at. And they were very upset about the tuition being raised. They shook my hand and said, thank you for voting no, and for Alicia voting no, and for Trustee Lee for voting no. They said, tell the doc to stop saying, I'm quoting what they said, tell the doc to stop saying we are a rich school and penalizing us, the students, with a tuition increase when the budget should be analyzed for cuts. And we are not in favor of the Morris campus. We are making decisions in open meetings. That's part of our role too. Maintaining transparency. Emails not going to all trustees with trustee exclusion to some is not appropriate. The board consists of 7 trustees, with each of us having equal abilities to ask for information and questioning issues that we feel are necessary for good board governance. For the last 2 months, my requests for information have not been met. I have written emails to the chair and president and followed the addition to the policy of 01.36 to find that it was intentionally done to me to stop me from obtaining information that all trustees have a right to see and review. I've had to do nothing but FOIAs to get some of this information. The revisions to those policies for trustees, along with that resolution done in 2024, were specifically directed toward me and are very discriminatory towards me too, because no one should tell what a board trustee should be able to do or not do. You're punishing us when we should not be punished. If you want to censure us, but what you've put in the policy is not appropriate. And for us not to be able to attend educational conferences that we're allowed to do, that's wrong.
Trustee Harris.
Okay. First of all, congratulations to all the proclamations, but I do want to point out the one about the community college month. We here at Joliet Junior College should be very proud to be a community college. As a trustee, and all of the events and locations that I've gone to, there's always a story about Joliet Junior College. You get the stories even though you don't ask for them, but that just shows that the extent of how many people are involved with the community college and how important it is to them. And I'm always glad to hear the stories and always let them know that I will let the college know that you appreciate, being affiliated or a graduate or a family member that has something to do with JJC. And so, and I always remind them too that we are the nation's oldest and first oldest community college. So congratulations for Community College Month. All right, and then next, I was happy to attend the Grundy County Chamber Awards Banquet. They are really doing their thing out there in Grundy County and Morris. And I just thought the room was packed. There had to be 300 or 400 people in the room. They had to be, and it was a wonderful event, and I was glad to be able to attend. And our award, congratulations to our president too. And then also I was glad to attend the bridge. I didn't take any notes today. The bridge, the partnership agreement with the University of St. Francis and Joliet Junior College. That was a wonderful event. Both colleges, 4-year and a junior, coming together and making good within the community. That was very important, very special, and actually I think it was on the news this morning too. So just a wonderful event, and proud to be a part of both, actually. And looking forward to attending the Wandering Feast. And also, I just want to encourage, and I'm going alone. I'll run into you guys. I'll catch up with you there. And also, I want to remind the students to take a rest, enjoy the break, and prepare to come back to reach their goal. Thank you.
Well, I'd definitely like to echo that sentiment there. Make sure you rest, fill your tank up, because we've got another 8 weeks to go. As such, however, I think I can speak on behalf of most students when I say thank you to our professors. Your job can be thankless, it can be difficult, it can mean long nights. And as a student, I see it. And I just want to say thank you, especially to Mr. Kurt Ward over there for representing the professors each and every meeting and doing a phenomenal job there. Trustees, I end every meeting the same way. Thank you very much for the opportunity to serve with all of you. It's been a pleasure to get to know each of you, and I look forward to seeing you next month.
Is next month your last month with us or the next one?
Yes, sir.
So what we're going to
Next
ask for
month?
you is in your last month, I want a screen capture of 12 months reports. I want to show us where the birds were.
You know what's
So
I've already worked on that.
I want to see some proof.
After
the answer key.
after every one, I put it in a separate JPEG so that I can put it in the final report.
Awesome, thank you, thank you. Since he took out part of mine, while I redo my notes, do you want to spend 20 seconds?
Oh, Chairman, thank you. So I meant to say happy birthday to my oldest son, who's transferring to the University of Hawaii. JJC has propelled him to the University of Hawaii, and tomorrow he turns 21 years old. So, JJC does good again. So to Keikoa, Jean, Kaleo, Aloha, Ika'aina, Malihini, Namuo. Happy birthday. Thank you, Chairman.
You did take up a lot of my notes, but I asked if Amanda and Kurt were going to stay here. In the reports at the beginning of the meeting, now we, on this board in the last year, have changed our focus a little bit during the meeting. We began to focus on students more, certainly alumni with the Wolves in the Wild, our incredible staff and future Wolves, but I really admire Kurt for pointing out other departments that are succeeding on campus. When he talked about the nursing programs and other programs, that's important to see the staff recognize each other as much as it is for us to recognize them. So I thank you, Kurt, along with what Trustee Bishop said. Amanda, you added something tonight that I really liked, putting a spotlight on a donor. When we talk about importance of what we want to see and appreciate in the meeting, they're just as important as everyone here. So I thank you for that. I do have a couple Wolves in the Wild stories. We were visited by Natalie Manley Ranover. She searched out where's the JJC table at an event and came over to us, which is really sweet. I don't have permission, so therefore I don't have a photo. I did send it to Dr. Numo, but an old friend of ours that left the area years ago is down in Florida. She posted on Facebook with 3 of her friends, but she didn't say, these are the people I grew up with, she said, these are all my JJC friends. And I thought that was kind of cool. Of all the things she could have started a sentence with, it was the JJC friends. And then I have a future Wolves photo that's gonna have to wait till the next meeting, but, other than that, thank you everyone for tonight. Tough conversation, but I'm glad we got through it, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Now I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Second.
adjourn.
We're ready for a vote.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. And we are adjourned at 8:53.